Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 119 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series. Today is a very exciting episode because we are going to begin Living World Season 2, where we finished Living World Season 1 in the last episode where we defeated Scarlet Briar, but she was successful in her task of awakening and energizing one of the elder dragons, and now we have to explore that story where there are strange happenings going on and there is a disturbance in the Brisbane wildlands, and we can go ahead and read a letter. I got a letter from LMK which is related to something that we'll explore more in the future, but strange happenings from E, a character that we have gotten some letters from in the past, but we haven't really interacted with this character in person. But Casimir is also speculating about who this mysterious E could be. But they say, at Thessalian, I'm well aware of just how busy you are. However, you've heard the theories that Scarlet disturbed one of the dragons. I fear these theories have merit. My eyes and ears in Brisbane Wildlands are reporting mysterious incursions into previously quiet areas. Go see for yourself. I hope your curiosity will spur you to action. E, where we can meet our allies in Tangle Root. Now, when we explored Brisbane Wildlands a very long time ago, I just popped into this area to get this point of interest, but this wasn't really a place that you could explore way back in the day during the original launch of Guild Wars 2 when Brisbane Wildlands was brand new content, and this was added with Living World Season 2, which Living World Season 2 has significantly more content than Living World Season 1, and I am excited to dive headfirst into it. Which, just to give like a very quick overview of what we are getting into, you have the story journal where there are 8 episodes starting with Gates of Maguma, and there are 2 open world maps where each open world map is connected to 4 of the episodes, and each of the open world maps got expanded upon with each episode. But since all the episodes are out, we will be seeing everything as we just progress through it. But let's get to Brisbane Wildlands and let's explore this area. And we can go through this passage here where we see some vines, and there are 2 passages into this area, which looks really cool, by the way. I really like this area. But we can see that we have this like northern one here and then the southern one here, both going into the Toxo Bog, and they actually close off, and you have to do an event at each of the passages, and both events have to be successful in order to clear vines that are blocking the way that then allow you to come into this area. But fortunately for us, those events have already been completed, and there's also a recycling truck outside. But we can just see how cool this place is, where I just really like this entire like building right here. I think it looks cool. And then we have a Seraph camp. We got Foreman John right here who we can chat with, and where he's just living in this area, and then the Seraph have come in to investigate whatever disturbance is going on. You can see Corporal Jansen here, who is most likely the leader of this outpost, and where they are exploring bandit activity in this area as well. Seraph Soldier Madison, anything we can help with, just watch for regrowth where the vines are growing. But we can go ahead and enter Dry Top, which Dry Top is a really interesting map from the original Guild Wars, located in this area of the world, and it was like a big circle, kind of like what we see here on the world map, but it's located a little bit more up here in Guild Wars 2, and it is a little structured a little bit differently than how it was in the original Guild Wars. But we got our story mission right here, and we can go ahead and enter this story mission. And really quickly, I just want to preface what we are going into with like the context of what many players experienced in Guild Wars 2, where for anyone who started playing after Living World Season 1, this content wasn't introduced in the game. So when you killed Zaitan at the end of my story, you didn't have Living World Season 1 to go through, so then you just skipped instantly to Living World Season 2, where you just are randomly friends with like a bunch of new people like Bram and Rox and whatnot, who we have explored through Living World Season 1. But it was a little weird for people who started playing after Living World Season 1 ended, and it wasn't until the End of Dragons expansion that Living World Season 1 was reintroduced, which allows us to play through this content, and then we can go into Season 2 naturally. But for a lot of people, it was just kind of weird skipping ahead to Gates of Maguma right after killing Zaitan. But fortunately for us, we do have Living World Season 1, and we now can progress through Living Road Season 2 with Disturbance in Brisbane Wildlands with this really cool concept art here. And we can gather our allies and meet with Corporal Jensen. And we have Casimir Meade and Marjorie Delacroix, some Seraph Field supports around here. And let's go ahead and run up here.
Tonight, I'll take your watch so you can get some extra sleep.
Listen here, Mother Hen. You can stop fussing. I'm fine. My ribs barely hurt anymore.
You ready? Let's join the others, shall we?
Yeah, our Casimir says they've been waiting for us. The Seraph are at this old fort, and I can see them fighting some vines in the background.
What are Seraph doing all the way out here?
How about we ask? Oh, look, there's the others.
Oh.
We'll wait here for them. I'm going. How's your leg, Graham?
Barely a peep from it. I got through those vines just fine.
You worry about him too much. He's tough.
I never said he wasn't.
You thought it.
What?
Nothing.
I want to talk to that Seraph and find out what's going on around here.
That was a weird thing there where Tammy's voice line played on Bram for some reason. But we have Corporal Jensen, who we can chat with, who we saw out in the open road.
Excuse me, Corporal. Looks like you've got a problem on your hands.
You might say so. We need to get through those vines, but they're impassable.
How about we give you a hand?
That'd be great. We're a small expeditionary squad.
What are you doing so far from the Reach?
We're tracking black market traders that came this way. We suspect they may have a secret ingress past this mess.
Well, let's see if we can help you clear a path.
Your help would be greatly appreciated, ma'am. Delacroix, come over here.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll be damned. Hey, sis.
I thought maybe this was your squad.
You're related?
Yes, sir. What are you doing here, Margie?
We heard a rumor there were strange goings-on in this area. We came to investigate.
As if taking on Scarlet wasn't enough excitement to last a lifetime. Let's talk. We've got some information about what's happening around here.
Inquest! Timey, get in your golem.
Stay close, Jory.
Kaz, that's my line.
What are inquests doing here?
They're like rats. They show up everywhere there's death.
You guys go left. Kaz and I will go right.
We need to hold them back here. Our outpost can't withstand an all-out attack.
So let's defend the northern pass from the Inquest. And of course, the Inquest show up as they do throughout Tyria just to do random things where they are very interested in potentially whatever is happening over in Dry Top. So let's go ahead and deal with them. And I just want to point out how cool it was that Timey just went into her golem like that. But we also got a ton of achievements that we can participate in, which I thought we have to complete the story for the first time before we unlock the achievements, but it's showing that we could potentially do here, and where we cannot get hit by the Inquest Golem static field, the upcoming boss, and then we need to make sure none of the Seraph repair workers die, and then we also need to utilize the electric charge buildup on the Golemites to overpower the Master. So we can go ahead and potentially go for those, but I'm not super interested in going for like every general achievement, and there's only like a few achievements here and there that I'll specifically go for that I find interesting to highlight. But the Inquests here are also very interesting, where we have dealt with them a lot throughout Guild Wars 2, especially in a couple of dungeons, and then when we played as an Asuran through Metrica Province and into the Brisbane Wildlands, where we defended the eastern pass. I don't see anything over there. It's saying we should be over there, but let's come over here. Oh, I see more Inquest showing up. Let's just help out with this veteran Inquest really quickly, and then we can get back down to the eastern pass. Over this way, I see these three. One veteran, so it should be pretty easy to defeat. And then we mostly just have to defend this area until the Inquest either give up or maybe send something stronger, where the Seraph are going to go ahead and try to build those defenses, and we can try our best to defend the Seraph, where I see two repair workers coming up this way. So let's come up here and defend them. We got some locations where they can build their barricades. We got Timey up there with a ton of the Inquest. Let's destroy this assassin first, because I feel like he's going to pose the biggest threat to the workers, and also then AoE down this engineer. The extinguisher wants to join in as well, so let's go ahead and deal with him. And then these two inquests. Looks like the repair workers have a lot of space to work. More and more inquests are spawning, but they're spawning out of reach. So we're just gonna do our best to kill them from afar. We can try to group them up like that, and then AoE them down like that, which is very good for us. More and more inquests. Let's check over here really quickly. Okay, so there's a group of inquests down there, but the Seraph workers aren't down there, and I think they're on their last barricade up here. So let's just stay here for a second, continue defending these workers, and then they might go down to the southern area, or the eastern pass. Let's get these two inquests in. The workers are still working, but it looks like they're finishing that barricade. Now the workers are going to begin building barricades in the eastern pass. So I see, it looks like they're running down this way. So let's go ahead and work on giving them some space. And I just want to say, as we go into Living Road Season 2, for a very long time in Guild Wars 2, I'm someone who just thought every single update and expansion was better than the previous. And it isn't until partway through the Iceroot Saga where it kind of becomes a little bit different for like my personal taste, to where I start liking some pieces of content more and some pieces of content less than like previous content. But largely, like, the personal story I really like, but Living Road Season 1 I like even more. Season 2 I like even more than that. Heart of Thorns I like even more than that. Season 3 I like even more than that. So for me, for a very long time, for the next, I don't know, couple hundred episodes of this series, or maybe even more, maybe less, just everything is going to be coming like so much better for me personally with what I enjoy with Guild Wars 2. And I'm really excited to begin Living Road Season 2 just because I enjoy it a lot more than the Living Road Season 1. I have more inquests coming in. Group of 4. I can try to kill these three really quickly. This one was kind of lagging behind. Maybe he should have turned around when he saw his three friends die there. But they have one more barricade left, 61%.
They're dropping golems in behind us.
So we did get an achievement for no Seraph left behind. Now we have these achievements that we can go for. I just failed one apparently. So let's go ahead and do our best to defeat the Mark 1 Golem, where he protects allies, heals allies, and electrifies minions. And then we just need to keep attacking it. And it looks like maybe I failed the other achievement as well, but I don't care too much. We got a Geode Horde, and it looks like we have beat back the Inquest. We can go ahead and regroup with all our friends, and there's a ley line anomaly over there, which is kind of funny. Tammy running in way back in the distance. She was really out there just fighting the Inquest. Many a sir, I do have a grudge against the Inquest, and we'll go to great lengths in order to fight them.
That was exciting. It's been a while since I've seen you in action. You've improved.
I've been getting lots of practice.
Looks like we've almost got those vines out of the way. You coming through with us?
Yeah, we want to see what's on the other side. You don't mind, do you?
If you come with us? Great gods, no. I don't get to spend enough time with you.
Let's see if you still feel that way after a few days of being around us.
Delacroix, I have a mission for you. I need you to run back to Fort Salma and give them an update. Oversee getting soldiers posted here to keep these vines back. I don't want our retreat cut off just in case.
Yes, Corporal. I'll grab my gear and go.
I knew I could rely on you. Double time, Seraph.
Yes, Corporal.
It's okay. Some other time.
I'm sorry I can't go with you. Promise you'll stop by Fort Salma on your way home and let me know how things went?
I will. Send Mama word that you saw me, will you? So she worries a little less.
Okay, I'd better get going. Take care of yourself, okay? Love you, sis.
Always. You too.
Belinda, it was good seeing you again.
Aw, same here. Goodbye.
They'll have to see each other some other time, but we can go ahead and chat with the corporal over here, and then we can explore the new region where we're ready to explore beyond the ridge. And we have completed the first story mission of Disturbance in Brisbane Wildlands, where we get some inquest supplies. We have some raw ambrite, which is a new crafting material. Well, we can salvage this to get a new crafting material. If we come into here, we can get these pieces of ambrite, which we can also sell on the trading post if we want, which I'll probably do a lot of, where we get 1 silver and 41 copper. But then we completed the mission and we get piles of silky sand, and Dry Top is a really cool map because of it being kind of like a sandy desert that we can explore. But let's go ahead, consume all of this, and then we also got some piles of coarse sand, and we also get bandit skeleton keys. And let's look into the situation in Dry Top, where we have Dry Top here with some more map completion objectives on Southside Cove. It's definitely a much bigger map, and we can see this really cool loading screen art here that kind of looks like the Zephyrite ship, which for anyone who watched the trailer for this episode knows what happened here. As we load in, we can see the remains of the Zephyrite's ship, which we haven't really seen until this point because it's not available in the Festival of the Four Winds. But we can see there are a ton of Zephyrites around here, and we need to speak with Spark, who is located right here,
Hope for brighter days.
where we can ask what happened here. One moment our ship was sailing smoothly through clear skies, and the next we're falling. What caused your sky ship to crash? I'm sorry, I don't know, it was so sudden. Nothing like this has happened to my people since we took to the sky. Here we can speak to Nimbus. Our aspect crystals can help you navigate this lake wasteland. Since the crash shattered them, our crystals can only grant you their movement skills for a short while before their energies ebb. Where we can say thank you, take care, and we can use the light dash skill to pass through the sand wall. So very similar to what we explored with the Festival of the Four Winds. This map features the aspect crystals in its exploration until you unlock some mounts and you can skip through a lot of the stuff. But since we are playing through the natural order of Guild Wars 2, we are going to be using the aspect crystals to explore this map, which I think is really fun actually. But we can see the start of Dry Top here, and we can see it goes all the way over to here, and we can see that there's actually a big meta event which actually just restarted. It restarts at the top of the hour, where there's 40 minutes where you can just do a bunch of events around the map and gain the favor of the Zephyrites, and then a sandstorm will appear for the last 20 minutes of the hour, where a bunch of very special events and like some big boss fights are going to spawn. And you can basically just do the events for like a bunch of rewards and like crafting recipes and get like special weapons and whatnot, and just unlock just a bunch of fun stuff. But I mostly care about the story, but we'll definitely be seeing the sandstorm happen as we progress through here. Where there's also a merchant, and as you gain more favor, you can buy more and more rewards up to tier 6, where you can even get some of the early rewards for cheaper. But let's grab this crystal here, and let's just go through like this. And then we can get the lightning crystal, which we can go to this platform, and then we can use the assisted leap to reach the next one. I think I would rather just use this one, it seems easier. But then we can use assisted leap to ascend the cliff. This is going to be easier to use this, and we can come up to here. And then we have Rhyme up here and some jungle tendrils, where we can make our way towards the crash site. Let's go ahead and get out of this, and let's just defeat this jungle tendril here. Should maybe spawn my golem. Got some friends helping out, but I think we mostly have to defeat the big one. And then we got some smaller roots that we also have to defeat, where the hunter over there is fighting that. And then we kill this, and then we need to kill the jungle tendril. So it survives 3 roots, so we need to kill the roots before the jungle tendril. It's been a little bit since I've been in this map, but we complete this and then the vines go away, and we've also increased the favor of the Zephyrites for everybody in the map, where another event was also just completed, which increases it as well. So many jungle tinder roots, but this is just a really interesting map, like with its layout and its like geometry and whatnot. It's really fun, and on top of it, the art is also very beautiful, where we have Cerulean here, who might be someone that we saw before, but I don't entirely remember. But go ahead, check with him really quickly, where he just talks about how our ship came down just north of here, where we can go ahead and come up here. And I see over here is a lost coin, where there are a ton of lost coins all around the map that we can collect in order to get a bunch of achievements, where this is only one of like 3 or 4 coin collector achievements. We can see more Zephyrites around here, and we can also find some of the quartz crystals around this map as well. But we have Aura right here who we can chat with, where she says that it's going to be a challenge to retain their spiritual balance in this hostile, unfamiliar land. But we got Crash Side 1 right here, and I should also double check. I do only have 2 mastery points, but we can go ahead and enter the story instance Fallen Hopes, where we have the dry top loading screen art right here, and we have all of our friends that we can check with.
That structure is unstable. It would be unwise for us to go in. Scruffy's scan confirms that it won't support all our weight. According to my calculations, the most efficient combination would be you, Marjorie, and Casimir. The rest of us can wait out here.
Did she just call us fat, Bram?
Yep, she sure did.
Facts are facts. The 3 of us together weigh as much as 19 Casimirs.
Great. I'm a unit of measurement.
Lead on, boss. Kaz and I are with you. We'll holler for the rest of you if we need something smashed.
And this is the start of a common joke with Casimir being a unit of measurement. But she opened a portal that we can go ahead and take, and we can come up here.
Hold on. I'll cast... Wait. Something's wrong.
What's the matter, dog?
I can't form a portal. Something here is blocking me.
Where we can sundash through the barrier to destroy the generator. Where we need to get a crystal,
Collected some of the Zephyrite crystals.
which Marjorie has.
Through with this sun crystal.
I just tried. Ooh, what am I doing wrong? Let's do this from back here. Where dash forward the speed of light. Oh, maybe it's like restarting when I run into it. There we go. Okay.
Smash that inquest thing so we can catch up.
And then destroy the generator. And now our friends can come through. But there's some inquest here.
Halt, intruders. This area falls under inquest jurisdiction. You are trespassing. Ergo, be gone, or we'll have no choice but to oust you.
Look, we're just trying to help these poor crash victims and find out what happened. Do you know anything about the crash?
All we know is that whatever lands in our territory is ours to salvage. Let us show you just how serious we are about this. You should know I'm not all smiles.
Let's go ahead and defeat the inquest here, and we can prove to them that they're not very serious. Alright, let's kill this guy back here first. Let's get him out of the way, and then we can defeat the sapper here. Pretty easy to deal with.
I guess we showed them. Still think I'm not ready for battle?
Listen, I'm sorry about how I've been acting. I just can't stand the thought of you getting hurt again. That scared the fluff out of me.
I know, honey. I felt the same way about you. But you convinced me that you can handle yourself. Now let me convince you.
All right.
So we can get across the chasm by using a lightning
Clear
pole.
that gap with a lightning tether. Try this crystal.
Just like that.
Something's actively blocking my magic. Please keep an eye out for anything unusual.
Now that it's out of commission, I should be able to
Then we have a Zephyrite up here by the name of Morning with a bunch of inquests. Let's go ahead and attack these inquests, and then hopefully we can chat with her.
help me. Please. Someone.
Go ahead and deal with all of you really quickly so we can go ahead and do our best to chat with her. We also got some missions here. where we can find a hidden thing, dive into hay pile, and also climb to the highest point, which is really fun because there is a jumping puzzle in this map, and we can do the jumping puzzle in the story instance if you want, but I might just do it outside. She's on the verge of death.
This one's alive, but hurt badly.
You're going to be okay. My friends and I will get you out of here.
Forget about me. The Master of Peace is in danger. Someone has to go find him and protect him.
The Master of Peace? Your leader? Where is he? Why is he in danger?
I don't know why, but the Sylvari is trying to kill him. Please.
Hey,
What?
hey, stay with me. Oh, damn. She's dead.
I hate to speak ill of the dead, but that Zephyrite was lying.
About what?
Don't get me wrong. She was very afraid for the Master of Peace, but when she said she didn't know why he was in danger, I could tell. She wasn't lying.
Why would she lie? Are you sure?
Absolutely. It was in her posture and in her eyes. She didn't give us the whole truth.
I believe you. Let's press on and see if we can find any more answers.
The Master of Peace is in danger, but let's ascend the cliffs by using assisted leaps. And I keep hearing like crashing up here somewhere. But we can also see this really cool pipe, and we can see a little village over there. But also really like the aesthetic of like the crashed ship. Where, you know, the shipping crash is not a good thing, but it does provide like a cool aesthetic and a cool like area to explore. Let's get up here. Where there is a group of dead merchants here, which is not good. And I guess we have to kill these inquests before we can attack the arcane dampener. Go ahead. Summon our flesh golem again. And then just spend a win, as we do on both my guardian and my necro. And then we can attack the arcane dampener. And as these two get up here, we can discuss the situation with Marjorie. Too many dead people here. Too many. But Marjorie says, it's one tragedy after another, first Lion's Arch and now this terrible accident. What's happening to our world? This was no accident. Look at those bodies. Their bodies are riddled with knife wounds. They didn't die in the crash, they were attacked. Before the crash, something happened on the ship. The Zephyrite always seemed so gentle to me, but these died fighting. There are defensive wounds on their hands and arms as if they were shielding themselves from their attacker. No culture survives long without learning to defend itself. So many of them. It must have been a large force that attacked. Yes, as if it was inflicted by one lone attacker, because they're all from the same blade. A formidable attacker who took them down single-handed. Them and their airship. An accomplished saboteur then.
All these dead. They're breaking my heart.
A friend pointed out to me that these people weren't killed in the crash. They were dead beforehand.
What?
Murdered.
Portal up. Summon quest over there, where we can go ahead and search the plateau for clues about the crash. So we got a technician here with a golem. Should be pretty easy to deal with. You can just stop the golem, spin to win. There's also some dust mite twisters that we're going to have to be careful of. But this says, this page is torn from a mission log. Has a single phrase scrawled across it. I turn my back on you, mother. My solo voice of truth will dampen the cacophony of fools. Aaron. Or we can bring this to Marjorie. And then we can show this to her. And why is it soundless? The soundless are Sylvari, a faction. Oh, yes, I remember something about that. They're a fringe group, right? They've cut off their loyalties to the Pale Tree. From the Pale Tree and all other Sylvari, they meditate to keep their minds away from the dream. Do you think the Sylvari was a soundless or soundless evil? No Sylvari is inherently evil, but some choose that path. So we're looking for a soundless Sylvari who no longer enjoys the protections of the Pale Tree. Let us go.
Sylvari was soundless.
Jory, you sound downright excited.
The plot thickens, my dear. Of course I'm excited.
So another Sylvari who has committed some atrocity. Let's come around this way, where I see next to this veteran dust mite twister. I'll go ahead and fight the twister, and then we can go and interact with this next piece of evidence. where I think the Twister is going to knock us around a bunch. Let's try to destroy it quickly, and I think the big ones might go into smaller ones, but they do not. We have some wreckage here, where this wood was blast scorched with an explosion rather than slow burned as seen on most of the wreckage. So maybe the start of the explosion, where a bomb was likely placed near them.
Some of this wreckage isn't fresh. These burn marks are old. It's as if they'd been attacked before the crash.
Then we need to find the third piece of evidence. A ton of dust mites around here. Let's just try to carefully deal with them. And then got an inquest down here. 2 inquests actually. We have another body here. Looks like some sort of Norm adventure. Go ahead and interact with the body. The Zephyrite is armed and armored as if she's part of an elite guard.
Why does it have to be another Solari?
I don't know, but his actions are not random. He was after something or someone specific.
The Master of Peace? Is he on the run? Is the assassin after him?
I think so, yes. We have to find him before the assassin does. Do you think we can track them?
Where I doubt the Masterpiece knows this area any better than we do. If you were him and being pursued, where would you go? I'd head for the closest town. That makes sense. Okay, then we should head back into that town there. I'll go, you stay here and tie up the investigation. Sure, boss. You don't mind going by yourself? I'll take Rox, Bram, and Timey with me. Okay, we'll meet you when we're done here.
Jory?
Yes, dear?
I was hoping we'd have a break from the death and destruction once Scarlet was gone.
Unfortunately, I believe Scarlet was just the tip of a very large, very deep iceberg.
And we have completed a return to Fallen Hopes, and we can get our rewards here. And then we now have tracking the Master of Peace, where I think now is a good opportunity just to spend a little bit of time in this map and explore Dry Top. Where let's go ahead and kind of do what we just did, and we can go back up to that area and we can explore everything that's available up there. We also got some lost coins, which I can go for some of them, but I'm probably not going to go for all of them. Where we got a quartz crystal formation here that we can go ahead and mine, which is exciting. I definitely have a lot of random stuff, some stuff from the end of Living Road Season 1 as well, which I never cleared out. But let's go ahead, come here. We can see that we get 10 charges, but only lasts for 15 seconds. So we gotta be pretty quick. Let's get over here. We can see it just looks very, very cool. Up here. So many inquests all around here. There's a point of interest. We got one Zephyrite by the name of Serene. And then we got Wreckage of Zephyrite, Crystal Garden, a Hero Challenge. So yes, Hero Challenges are now finally returning, and we can go ahead and get a hero point. And this is going to be good for our training, which actually, when we get one more point, we can go ahead and get Blighter's Boon. So this is kind of a big, important hero challenge for us. Let's kill this technician real quick. And then let's commune with this Wreckage of the Zephyrite, Crystal Garden. Lost coin over there as well. But now we can get this trait. I think if we come into here, we now have our first Grand Master trait for the Reaper. Gain life force when you apply boon to yourself, or remove a boon from an enemy. If you are in a Reaper Shroud, gain health instead. So that is kind of cool, but probably not one I will use too much. But if we run this way, we can see a vista is in this direction. And we can also see there's only 24 minutes until the sandstorm arrives. I guess let's just kill these inquests here, make some space for us. The Golemite is just mining away at that crystal there, this one too. There's a quartz crystal formation, but the vista here. A pretty good shot of the entire wreckage here, where I think if I check, I have gotten all the map completion objectives in this one little area. But since we are up here, let's go ahead and do the jumping puzzle, where this is kind of an interesting jumping puzzle because it tends to be a little challenging for some players. And I remember way back in the day it was decently challenging for me, but nowadays it's like pretty easy since I like kind of got better at the game, I suppose, which means that as I say that, I'm probably not even going to be able to complete it. So let's go ahead, try. Oh, I just need to not talk. Let's get up here, and then very carefully on this one, get right there. There we go, and then get to the edge here, and then up here before the crystal goes away, and then we can recharge it. And then oh, okay. I really just do need to talk. Since we died, we are back at the start now, which means we are going to have to go through the map with the crystals to get back to the point we were just at. I wonder if I can like skip around the jungle tendril and then try to get like up there. Okay, that works, which is nice, so we don't have to do that event again. But then, oh, I need to get the new crystal here, and it's easy to get back over. Okay, back to the start. Let's get this crystal really quick and just get up here before the inquest attack us. And let's lock in here. Let's get to this crystal. Come around here and try to get up here, and then very carefully get up like that. And let's be smart here. Let's not do anything stupid. We gotta do some mathematics. Just land right there. And then we get this new crystal, which we can then go up to here, and then up to here, which then takes us to the end. So pretty easy as long as you're not, you know, being kind of silly. But let's go ahead, open this grand chest, and then we also got this, which reconquer the crash site climb, where this is return to dry top 2, which I will highlight really quickly, where this is part of an achievement that was introduced between the end of the Iceweed Saga and the End of Dragons expansion, which is really cool. But there's a lot of stuff here, and I'm basically just going to do like the seasons and all of the missions and whatnot normally, and then once we get to the point where this was introduced, I'll go ahead and come back and finish up anything that we need to do. But I might pay like a little bit of attention to that. But we got this chest here, and then we can see we are really high up at the top of the crash site. And let's try to get back over here for a second, because there are diving goggles over there, and I think we're going to need to drop. Okay, well, I just died, but we could try to drop down to the water over there and get an achievement to get those diving goggles. So I think I'll just leave that there for now, and let's try to get back over this way, where let's grab this, and then I guess let's come up here, but we can go ahead and search the nearby town, the town of Prosperity, and we can even come down this way instead, and let's explore this area where there's a lost coin that we can grab right there, and just a bunch of inquests, one of which chilled me, which is a little annoying, and then poisoned me and chilled me again. I think let's just kill you, and then this extinguisher, let's go ahead, just obliterate you. It's always a good day to kill some inquests. I've seen the armadillo, and you just got a big stretch of sand here, and we can see the town was attacked. It looks like there's a bunch of vines here, and we're during episode 1, the town is actually like fully standing and isn't attacked or destroyed. But with episode 2, it was destroyed, but they just kept it like this even if you are in episode 1. So technically, as we come through here, this town isn't necessarily supposed to be destroyed, and we'll explore more like that destruction specifically in the future. But let's come this way really quickly. Since this is open up right now, we can see that there is like an inquest base over here with a veteran inquest engineer, and there's like some events and I think some collectibles in here, but really the big thing is this point of interest. I'm just gonna kill this engineer really quickly. Couple more inquests. Let's just run through here, try to get this point of interest, and it's a really cool looking area. I really enjoy this a lot. The abandoned mine, and you can see we are very close to Brisbane Wildlands right here, and I just love like how this map kind of connects to the Brisbane Wildlands. It's really cool. But let's go back this way because there is a waypoint over there, which I think is going to be a pretty good waypoint for us to get. Because if you look at the map, we've gotten like all of the map completion objectives here, and we have completed the story in this one little area. So if you get this waypoint, we can go ahead and just return here instead of having to run through an area where we don't really have anything left to get. But it's a big stretch of land, and we can see we have a tent over here, which is actually a Zephyrite field hospital, where I think there might be some seraph here as well, and they are just treating the wounded from the crash, where there is indeed a seraph medic and a cat even. Let's go ahead, grab this waypoint, and I see some paper scraps, which I kind of forget what these are exactly for. I think it might be related to our upcoming story. But handwritten on this page torn from a journal, our survey expedition arrived here for the Priory in 1327 AE just as the Seraph broke through from Tango route and the Zephyrite airship crashed. From our camp here, we interviewed the Zephyrite survivors and the citizens of Prosperity, unaware that a Mordrum attack would soon destroy the town. After my years studying dusty old scrolls describing Drytop, I hardly expected to find such turmoil and tragedy here in the wastes. Our experiences have been eye-opening. We moved on to higher ground so that we can continue exploring the Maguma wastes for the Priory. I wish you luck here. Explorer Kitabu with Explorer Savio and Amaxtli, or however you pronounce that. But now we have this waypoint, which is a great waypoint to have. We can go ahead and enter into this town and explore this a little bit, where a lot of the people who were in this town during episode 1 are now unfortunately dead because of the events of episode 2, which we'll explore more of. But I just want to highlight one NPC in particular, just because he is a really, really cool character, where we can run up here and we can see this Quaggan here by the name of Drubert. Now this is my favorite Quaggan in all of Guild Wars 2, and my fiance's favorite Quaggan in all of Guild Wars 2, and in fact my fiance's favorite character in all of Guild Wars 2, where we see some Mordrum attacking, who we'll explore more of in the future. But this Quaggan sat outside of this bar here. We have Martinus, and he would basically just beg for money, where you could give him gold, and you just gave him gold, and you didn't really get too much except for knowing that you were trying to help save this Quaggan's life so that he could be able to get back to his home. But unfortunately, he was killed by the Mordrum, and his lifeless body is just strewn up right here, which is actually kind of horrifying to look at. But we see Drubert's ghost return in each of the 6 different major festivals for Guild Wars 2, where we did see his ghost during the Festival of the Four Winds, and we'll see his ghost more in the future, especially during the Shadow of the Mad King. But we can go ahead and fight some Mordrum here, and I think in the first mission we kind of learn a little bit about the Mordrum from one of the characters, but I missed chatting with them. Where we can go ahead and fight Mordrum, the minions of a new Elder Dragon by the name of Mordrum Moth, which is really, really cool to see, where we saw Scarlet Briar awakened a new dragon, a 6th dragon, where we thought there was only 5 dragons, but there were hints of there being a 6th Elder Dragon throughout Living Road Season 2, and we now see that confirmed here, where we have Mordrum Moth, and he is beginning to attack different areas around Tyria, including here at Prosperity. But we can search the nearby town, where we need to find clues. Let's go ahead and chat with these two maybe. Maybe they should take cover. Good plan. I just see our story marker here. I'm not sure if this is directly taking us here. The merchant has a single stab wound in his chest that looks just like the one on the Zephyrite found at the crash site. Now we can search the mine to try to find the Master Piece before his saboteur pursuer does. Where we can come over here and we can even see a cactus, which is cool. This is a new plant that we can harvest to get some cooking ingredients. So we've got some nopal or nopal. I'm pretty sure it's nopal. I have no idea though. Or this is a chef rank level 400 item. And in here we have some inquests that are doing some random shenanigans. But let's run up here. We got Alana right here, where we can ask about the dead merchant in the town. And we can talk about trying to find the Master Piece, who potentially headed west towards Spur Bend Canyon. Or while we're in here, in this very, very dark mine, Let's come over here really quickly and get the point of interest for Prosperity Mine. And then let's try to get out here, where we need to look for the masterpiece this way. We have a paper scrap here that we can interact with. And if you want to pause, you can go ahead and read it. But this newer handwriting matches the Saboteurs. Where let's go ahead and try to come up over here, where we can see another paper scrap, and we got some chronological, or however you pronounce that. Very interesting beasts. But we got this paper scrap right over here, and there's a lost coin over there, where this is where Destiny's Edge confronted the Crystal Dragon, and where our protector died, defending us from her elder kin. Talking about Glint there. And now we can go ahead and search up here, where there are a ton of cool things up here that we can also explore. Where we got paper scrap over there. But let's come over here really quickly, where there's a really interesting event that takes place here, where you fight like a very challenging high like on top of that rock, and it's actually like a pretty challenging boss fight. More so back in the day, of course. But let's get around here really quickly. Try to get up to here because I see a vista, and then we can get the point of interest up there. There's also a lost coin right here that we can grab just to collect it, because we might as well collect it. Get a new one of these, and then over to here, and let's explore the vista first. A nice shot of Dry Top, and we can see the crash in the background over there, as we have now begun to explore for pretty far past it. Where, yes, Dry Top is definitely a little bit of a bigger map than South Sun Cove, which I appreciate so much, and that tends to be the trend here on out, where no map ever added to the game after South Sun Cove is as small as South Sun Cove. But let's get over here to the Sparring Rock. Can get that point of interest. And then let's try to get over here. Very nice. Where I see a point of interest down here, just below the edge here, where we got Salamander Rise, where there's a big salamander down there. Oops, let's go ahead. Oh, okay, he's running away. I just want to look at this giant salamander. Salamander Drake Broodmother, where she's actually defending a lost coin, so I guess we could go ahead and just defeat her. She breathes fire, and it's just really cool looking. I should definitely do a top 10 Drakes sometime. I've not done that yet. But then we have Lost Coin here. And we have gotten 5, where we got a total of 4 achievement points from this now. But let's navigate back up to here, where we have our next story marker at that paper scrap with a couple of the Salamander Drakes kind of just hanging out. So let's deal with them first so we can read this in peace. Oops, I accidentally canceled that. There we go. And the paper scrap talks about how they forged an alliance with her and led her into their minds with Destiny's Edge and Glint. Destiny decided otherwise, and thus the torch was passed to my ancestors. We hid ourselves away for hundreds of years, helping her as we could and keeping her secrets. Dragons consume magic, but they do not destroy it. They hold it within themselves like a sponge holds water. I only hope we're faster than the scavengers and powermongers who would use her body to advance. The masterpiece may have unwittingly left a trail. Where we have completed this story mission here, tracking the Master of Peace, where we now have our next story mission of Cornered, follow the trail of the Masterpiece, and a Saboteur Pursuer, where we have Spur Bend Canyon here that we can go ahead and explore. But I think I'm going to leave that for the next episode, where I think this is a good stopping point, and our next mission is a bit of a bigger one. But it's so exciting to be in Living World Season 2 and to begin exploring the missions and the maps of Living World Season 2, where I hope you all enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope you all are taking great care of yourselves. Remember to drink some water and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all next time in the world of Tyria. Goodbye.